So most of weight loss really is an inner game. And people don't like hearing that because of the simple fact that if it were so simple that I could just give you a diet plan and a workout, then nobody would have any problems losing weight or getting fit, right? If it was as easy as reading a book on happiness, then you never had a problem being unhappy. Well, we'd all be slim, happy, rich, fulfilled, spiritually evolved. And the reality is it's not that simple. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you a little bit about why we self-sabotage. Sometimes it's fear of success, and sometimes it's the fear of failure. What's up guys, it is Alex Hine here, author of Master the Day. Now I had this client 1 or 2 years ago and I had the weirdest thing happen. This was maybe the most obvious example of self-sabotage I've ever seen up until this point. It was very obvious. A lot of the time when we self-sabotage, it's subconscious. So we subtly, slightly change our habits and behaviors, and as a result, we don't get the result we want, and it's to show ourselves that, look, I never achieve anything. But this one was really interesting. She had signed up with me and she was paying between $500 and $800 US a month, which is a lot of money. And she had a professional job, she could afford it, but it was a lot of money, and she had invested in herself because she was serious and she wanted something to really change now. And what happened was, after 2 weeks, and mind you, this was $500 a month for at least 4 months. So she was investing $2,000 with me to guaranteed help her lose some weight. And the problem was, after 2 weeks, she didn't see very much weight loss. She saw only 1 to 2 pounds, and that little gremlin, that monster, was gradually getting louder and louder. In my book, I call it the narrative. Her narrative began to say, oh crap, it's not working. Like, I just paid all this money, it's not working, nothing's working, I'm just gonna be fat again, I'm wasting all this money. And here's what happened. About 3 weeks in, she actually said, you know what, Alex, I quit. She emailed me. She didn't even wait for the next coaching call. She didn't send me a long response. She just said, Alex, I can't do this anymore, and I quit. And I said, hey, just to remind you, we had a 3 to 4 month agreement. Like, 2 weeks you can see results, but we really need time to see results here. And she said that she quit. And I said, hey, we agreed on 3 to 4 months. And she said, keep my money. So she had me bill her $2,000, even though she only had $500 worth of coaching. And this was, it really messed up my mind for a while because I couldn't figure out why she would just throw the money away and not even try anymore. But the reality was that she was so afraid of failure that she would rather not try and go back to the predictable life that was easy, that was comfortable with all the food she wanted, than actually try and score big and go for that big dream. All right, so how do we turn this into habits? If you find yourself self-sabotaging like this, it may not be as obvious as this. It may just be saying, oh, I deserve this sweet. Like, it's been a long day, I deserve this. It's also a form of self-sabotage. That's a little bit more subconscious though, and it's not always easy to find. The first thing I do is actually journal. Now, this sounds kind of weird and very woo-woo, but for me, journaling is one of the easiest ways to spot your own internal narratives. And now when I journal, the thing I primarily do is I write down all my thoughts and feelings around the particular subject. So it doesn't matter if it's your relationship, your body, or financial success. You write down all the fears, all the hopes, all the dreams, all the negative gremlins that come up. So you might be writing things like, every time I try, I always fail, so screw it, why bother trying again? Or if I commit to getting fit, then maybe that means that I'm not gonna ever be able to eat sugar again, and I like eating my mom's pies. Maybe it means all these other little stories and narratives in your head. And the way you get them consciously is by putting them on paper. And the way I like to do it is at the end of the night. Because if it's at the end of the night, then your mind is clear, nothing's gonna be keeping you up at night. Now, the second strategy I implement quite a lot is something I learned from a friend, and she learned it from Julia Cameron. I think she wrote the book, The Artist's Way. Now, Julia Cameron talks a lot about something called morning pages. And morning pages are essentially when you wake up, you've got all this crap, all this discouraging thoughts in your head, you put them down on a piece of paper in the morning, and when you put them down there, you're basically clearing your mind for the day ahead. So the idea of morning pages is that you're purging all this junk in your head so you can start the day fresh, and there's nothing that's going to be discouraging you or getting in your way. And the way that I do this is I just take a blank piece of paper, write down everything, all the fears, all the hopes, all the dreams. I'm so afraid of being like this forever. I don't want to die young. I'm tired of going shopping and all the clothes fit me weird. And then just all write. As much as you possibly can. Get it all out on the paper, write it all down, And then at the end, just tear it up. Tear it up or burn it if you have a safe place to burn it. And then what you're going to do is basically purge that thought, those fears, those emotions, all the subconscious junk that bubbles up, and you can start your day fine. Now, the third habit here is to actually, sounds weird, but go after the goal until you see results. The thing with these self-sabotage narratives is that they're often linked to us having low self-esteem. So if we don't believe we can do something, the reason we self-sabotage is because we want to prove to ourselves we cannot do something. And this is why this kind of behavior is so sneaky. Mindset is it's non-material. It's intangible. It's intangible until it's tangible in your life and in the real world. And so the very act of actually trying to figure out what the narrative is and then disproving it, the only way to really do that is not necessarily just by visualization, by affirmation, but by living life and proving to yourself, okay, I said I was going to write a little bit of my book and I did. Then you get a little bit of a self-esteem boost because then you know you can do it. Or I said I was going to stick with no sugar every other day of the week, and then you do it, and then you get a little bit of a self-esteem boost because you reiterate that you can do this. You are the kind of person that can become successful. And so when I say to persist until you see results, if you just quit and don't see results, then you're just going to reiterate that narrative, that I can't do it narrative. If you quit, it just reinforces the narrative that I'm a quitter, that I can never do this, that I never see anything through. But if you keep going, even if it's an unrelated goal, even with something like you're trying to get more self-esteem for a fitness goal, but at the same time, you're actually cross-applying it to being in a great relationship or running a race or writing a book or creating a craft, that other self-esteem from the other aspects of your life will also carry over. So it's really important to keep going until you get results. Now, those are the three things I recommend to prevent self-sabotage. First thing is you really have to understand what your narrative is. And then from there, all these other habits are designed to help you break that narrative of self-sabotage. Now, before you go, I want you to leave a comment right there below. Let me know for you, what has been a consistent, recurring pattern of self-sabotage in your own life? Hey guys, it's Alex. Did you like this video? If so, there are really two ways you can stay in touch with me. The first thing is to go over, click the monk, and subscribe so you get the next video right when it's out. I'm releasing at least 3 videos per week, but often a lot more. The next thing is, come on over and check out my book, Master the Day. It's called Master the Day, Eat, Move, and Live Better with the Power of Daily Habits. And it's all about the tiny daily success habits that I learned interviewing people that lost over 100 pounds and kept it off years later in a healthy way. The success habits that not only get your dream body, but also your dream life. And as a special thank you, if you get the book, send me your receipt to alexander@modernhealthmonk.com. I'll send you a 1-hour bonus video course for free. And one important piece of it is an hour sit-down success story with my friend and my student Mike, who lost 30 pounds. So you can go check that out on Amazon right there. The next thing is, come on over to my site, modernhealthmonk.com. I've got a free guide for you there, 5 daily habits to help you lose your next 20 to 30 pounds. And otherwise, I look forward to seeing you soon.